It's time for Business Express 981. This is Smooth 98.1. And right now, of course, Rotus is in the studio.
Good morning, sir. How are you doing?
I'm very well, sir. And good
Good.
morning to you, Godre.
Yes, Ugodre is with us. Good morning,
Morning,
Ugodre.
everyone.
Hey, good morning. Join us in the conversation. WhatsApp number is 0809 4440981. That's for messages 0809 4440981. On Twitter, the hashtag is Business Express 981, Business Express 981, and we're streaming live on YouTube.
All right, Lagos. Good morning to you as well. So, our dear president is in Russia as we speak, along with is it 30 or 20 African leaders for the Russia Nigeria summit, the first ever one that's being hosted by Russia. I believe it's in the province of Sochi, wherever that is. Cheta went to Russia for the
Russia,
World Cup.
Africa.
Yeah, Russia African Summit. So there's a really nice picture of Buhari and Putin shaking hands and everything. So my was, what are we gaining economically from this summit? Now, I want to find out what folks think, because on the flip side of this, the West or usual America, Europe, and so on, they're all a little jittery, saying that Russia is using this to get leverage on the global scale. I know we signed a military deal earlier this month for weapons in order to help us with Boko Haram. But so the apparently the announcement from President Buhari is that Russia is going to assist us in building a 1,400 kilometer rail line from Lagos to Calabar. Although there's no announcement as to when it's going to start, when it's going to be completed. Godre, what do you think of the deal?
It already sounds good.
It sounds good, but this thing announced. What are your thoughts, sir?
Look, man, it's all chatter. For me, what I actually find a bit worrying about these things is how come the Russian president he just summon all African leaders. All of they just jump into plane and start.
Russia is the size of New York.
Why can't you
as
just
a country?
so you guys can invite? I don't think I've ever seen Putin has never been to Nigeria before.
That's true. So. I don't think he's been to Nigeria.
And I don't know when the last time he came to Africa. Right. So what I'm seeing here is just all diplomatic play. I think Russia is done with the Middle East. So they've played around the Middle East for some time now. They've basically just snookered, the US, kind of out of Middle East politics and have a foothold on some renegade, states in quotes in the Middle East. And now there's this big jostle for Africa and both the US and Russia, why they've been busy battling for the Middle East. China has basically just made inroads with Africa. So this is Russia now coming in and also trying to claim a stake.
Exactly.
And then interestingly, other reports I read as well suggest that they are also looking into oil business.
Right.
What do you expect? Oil business. Oil. So I don't know how oil benefits us anyway. Oil has never benefited us in this country. You know what I mean? And then they're also looking at the Agile Kettle Steel, which I think they built, back then. So they're looking at that. And I hear they're looking at education and all that. I mean, to me, it's just all chatter till you start to see something tangible happen. But this is actually how it starts. Remember that last year or 2 years ago, when Angela Merkel came into Nigeria as well to see Buhari, and then had this, meeting and all that. And then what you saw was, this Siemens deal that, the power sector Siemens deal. So typically, meetings like this, are a precursor to huge deals. So I mean, let's see how this one goes. But to me, this is just
it's just talk. I do want to mention. I'm glad you mentioned education. So Rencap Man, who is a chief global economist for Renaissance Capital, which funny enough is a Russian asset management firm. They are here in Nigeria as well. He also said, and Ugodre just mentioned it, I just wanted to expand on that. There's the service exports to Nigeria. Apparently, the population, the 15 to 24-year-old population in Russia has declined by about 40% over the last 10 years. Meanwhile, Africa's own young population has almost doubled or so. Yeah. So he's also mentioned scholarships that they're going to be offering. So I think they have a decent education
there's
system.
A lot of Nigerians also.
That's schooling in
Russia.
So So
it's just that it doesn't, favor them. There's no pali. There's no pali behind it.
Sorry, Bali means what?
That's the,
passport. That's
now,
what it
the
is.
passport thing.
So there's no giving any pali.
Exactly.
It's not like Canada where if you do like 3-4 years,
you become a permanent resident. Okay, so that's done the Russia deal. Okay, also I wanted to talk about this Lekki Seaports deal that's been announced here based on this company. And it's in Nairametrics. This Singapore-based company called Tolaram. It was in the Financial Times yesterday, I believe, or the day before. They're spending about $1 billion. About 60% of that is coming from China to build the seaports here in Lekki. And this apparently it's the company that is behind Indomie noodles, which for years I thought was a Nigerian company.
No,
so I know. Yes, so that Tolaram is Singapore based.
Yeah. So Tolaram owns 49% stake in Dufil, and Dufil owns the Indomie noodles brand. So it's Singapore based company, and just I think 2 years ago, if I recall, sometime in December 2017 or thereabout, or November 2017, they also commissioned a manufacturing plant, in conjunction with Kellogg's.
Okay.
I think that was about 6 billion naira or thereabout. I think we even talked about it on the show.
On the show, right? Yeah.
And so that was around the Lekki area as well, and it was part of their backward integration plan. So it'll be interesting to see how that manufacturing plan is going on now, because then the gist was that look, they're going to be manufacturing Kellogg's in Nigeria now, and we don't have to be importing Kellogg's cornflakes and all that.
But that in turn,
I think it was commissioned then, so I don't know whether it's still in operation or whether it's operating at full capacity. So this time around it's a port that they want to build there, and the idea is that that's probably going to compete with their Papa ports,
right?
That we've all, for years thought that Nigeria relies too heavily on. This is a $6 billion project, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, actually,
$1.something billion project, and that's huge amount, to be able to secure. And I understand that they basically secured the funds already, and it's in conjunction with a Chinese Development Bank, like you have it here, and China Harboring Company. I think there's a percentage ownership, so they own a percent. And Lagos State also has a stake in this, so maybe that sort of gives you some kind of legitimacy as well, and political backing. So like I said, I hope PPP and all that. But what was interesting to me was that they claimed that they've secured the funding,
right? And
that's actually astonishing, because securing funding of that magnitude, in this climate and in this economy, it's commendable. So one thing is secure the deal, and let's see whether the funds will be disbursed and then work and start.
Real quick, give you the figures here. So $630 million is coming from the China Development Bank, $470 million in equity from the China Harbor Engineering Company, and then the breakdown is if they have a 52.5% stake. Tolaram has a 22.5% stake. The Nigerian Ports Authority 5%, and Lagos has 20%.
China, I told you.
China, yes. China. But if you see the headline from the News Agency of Nigeria, I have to just throw this out there. It says, really? Sanwo-Olu secures finance $620 million financing.
Government house.
He claimed the whole thing.
They are shooting their shot like this.
Yes. Well, put all that.
Exactly. I'm the one that brought it there. So shout out to Governor Sanwo-Olu.
I hope he's pointing towards the port there.
Guys.
Okay, messages.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Benga Kamu says, we hope Buhari will not sign another agreement on Ajaokuta with the Russians. Ajaokuta is a sinkhole. It's best we sell it off. That's what Benga says.
Okay.
Abike says, oh Lord, please, not another Obagana, I beg. Obagana, he says. They should give us our KGBs or special forces to help with Boko Haram. Putin has nothing to offer us. His power play, that's what Papi K thinks. And what's your name? Please add your name to your messages. Leke is asking for help about the filling station is charging an extra 15 around POS charges.
Leke, we talked about this yesterday, the day before. I'm so sorry. That's what it is. We probably just have to make complaints, but I don't know where it will go. That 15 naira is happening.
Exactly. Shagun says, good morning, everyone. Hoping this Russian exercise shall at least bring about the completion of the Ajaokuta steel project.
Isn't that lovely? Benga Kamu says sell it. Exactly. Shagun says he hopes it will be completed. I love the diverse opinions on these things.
Oluzil says Russia and Africa, it's all about increasing Losing geopolitical influence. Ajakuta Steel, oil and gas stakes, Ren.
Rent money.
Really?
Very funny.
Olumide says Tolaram is in Lekki Free Trade Zone and it's up and running.
Ah, okay.
Yinka says, Ruth,
Great.
it's not about Russia having a decent education. It's that for Nigerians, any education outside Nigeria is good for Nigerians. The whites don't even chase MSc the way we do here. My colleague sitting behind me in the office is still looking for scholarships anywhere outside Nigeria. Fact is, dude just want to jackpot out of Nigeria any which way.
I know someone who he's in Norway now. He got a scholarship, went straight to Norway, and he's doing a 2-year master's there now. So yeah, you're right, Yinka. People are flocking out left and right.
Obi Tankenobi says all's well and good about the ports. What about thoroughfare roads to the thing?
Thank you, Ugodre. Yes, I wanted to mention this. So yeah, that means there'll be extra activity now. So what about a rail has to go there somehow, because now if you think about the volume of traffic on the roads, what are your thoughts on that?
Rail, bridges. I mean, I expect to see a lot of construction activity around there over the next 10 years. In fact, one thing that's even worrying to me or disturbing to me is actually, it would be nice to see a comprehensive EIA report, as an environmental impact assessment report done around that whole area, because the size of construction activity that is happening around the Lekki area is incredible, and it's only going to increase over the next decade or so. So it'd be nice to see. Let's be sure that we're
to
okay.
work out
you know
for
what
us,
I mean? Yeah.
right.
If not, we'll have another logjam on our hands. Papa is just learning. Modupe says, I think we should be careful about leasing out our ports to other countries, particularly China. Let's learn from what's happening to other countries that's gone the same route.
Modupe is too late, so the money is here. China is doing it's too late. They've collected our money since. But
and thank you, Jay, for checking up on us. Papike comes back to say it turned out well. Kellogg's is live in Nigeria already from 50 naira on to big size. Okay.
I think it's number 50, or I think it's or something like that. Yeah, I think
so take MTN, Dangote already trillion naira revenue. Tolaram Group is almost the next one. The company's investment here in Nigeria is mega. The sad part here is Nigeria Bank's mega loans risky being paid off.
Good point.
Okay. And Mike Great says, please, is this true? Is that devaluation eventually happening? I heard people's investments in dollars will be converted to naira by banks.
No. Have you heard of that? That one's not happening now. The whole dollarization, nairization of dollar investments. No, that's not true.
Yes. And Frank, thank you for that. Rose is going to look it up and get back to you. But we're done, though.
Are we done already?
Yes.
We can't wait. See, guys, next week,
1st of November.
As of 1st. Ugojo, did you hear?
We're going to extra 5 minutes.
They give us 5 minutes extra.
Oh, so, wow.
The sarcasm. 20
Finally.
minutes. But I see.
For those of us that have been there from day one.
Okay. Frank, I saw your we're out of time. Frank, I've seen the circular. We'll talk about it. Okay, tomorrow is Tech Friday, yeah?
Yes.
Monday, we'll discuss it on Monday, but I've seen the circular. I saw it. I didn't see it on the CBN's website, but we'll discuss it on Monday. Guys, thanks for your messages. We'll catch up with you. Ugo Dre from Nairametrics. Thanks for joining us as well.
Man.
All right, continue the conversation with hashtag Business Express 981 and Twitter Rotus at Rot and Quotes. This is Smooth Breakfast.
All right.